On behalf of House Sauerback, I support his accusations.
Your Lordship, Governor Drivestem has always faithfully served the rogue traders of House von Valancius and concerned himself with the future of your trade dynasty, and so, House Gaprak thinks his charges against House Werserian to be sound.
The augmetics hide Toriana's emotion, but her voice sounds slightly timorous.
I humbly ask you to allow me to speak in defense of my family's honor. The evidence provided by the governor is utterly false. I cannot refute it, but I can say with confidence that no one from my family has ever tried to forge documents in the Adeptus Administratum, let alone undermine the economy of your capital.
Yeah, so your words alone are not enough to make me doubt the loyalty of House Werserian. As the rogue trader, I order you to release them from custody at once.
Under different circumstances, I would not have dared disobey your word, your lordship, but I am afraid that this situation demands that the guilty receive their due punishment. This sabotage of logistical chains perpetrated on the capital world of your dynasty has naturally had an effect on tithe collection. The marshal himself is certain to arrive here sooner or later to investigate the matter. Alas, his attention puts both you personally and the entire protectorate at risk. However, we still have a chance to alleviate his displeasure by resolving this incident ourselves and punishing the culprits.
Sabotaging, logistics, riots, conspiracy, the case appears to be flimsy. I wish to learn more before I make my final decision, yeah?
As you wish, your lordship.
The governor inclines his head in a stiff bow.
Speak to me when you are ready to announce your verdict. Thank you for your willingness to help, Lord Captain. I am certain that all the charges are false and I would be grateful for your help in exposing them as such. I think you should speak to everyone present, the noble lords and ladies.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, let's go. Regina. Yeah, let's talk with Toriana.
The lords and ladies sumptuously dressed in the colors of House Gaprak are standing in a half-circle around Toriana and her son Vichent. The bodies and faces of almost every member of this dynasty are covered in large, ornate augmetics. Toriana Gaprak curtsies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent.
Greetings, your lordship. May the Omnisia grant you understanding.
With a click, her visor oculars swivel to the seneschal.
Abelard. It must be difficult for you to be here under these circumstances, with your house standing accused of such a grave crime.
My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach.
Yep. So do you think the accusations against the Werserian family are true?
I would not take such a responsibility upon myself and rule on their guilt, your lordship. I do think Governor Drivestem's accusations are worthy of consideration, however.
So in your opinion, which nobles might have a reason to be party to such a conspiracy?
She thinks for several moments before replying.
Pardon my bluntness, your lordship, but I will answer truthfully. It could be anyone. Greed, fear, and ideals can drive even the most loyal subjects to do the unthinkable.
So I have examined the bodies of the assailants that were killed today. All of them were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus. Isn't that so?
It is impossible to read Toriana's emotions in her heavily augmented face, but her sudden turn toward her family betrays her confusion and surprise. Perplexed whispers bounce from one family member to another. Impossible. We came here by ourselves, without any servitors. We know nothing about it.
Your lordship, thank you for informing us of this. You are absolutely right. My house has indeed been endowed with high-functioning servitors, a blessing for those who revere the Omnisia. But today, none of our house members were accompanied by them.
Okay, so Gaprak. Okay, let's talk with Sauerback.
Before bowing, Sauerback scrutinizes you with a bitter, judgmental look.
Your lordship.
Hecka Sauerback, looking like a younger copy of his father, stands at a slight distance, close to his mother. An expensive yet understated dress serves to highlight the dazzling beauty of Macarius's wife, Regina Sauerback. Sauerback stares at Erliot and revulsion flickers across his face.
So do you really believe the Werserians are guilty?
Certainly.
Sauerback replies without hesitation.
Governor Drivestem possesses proof of their guilt and they have no means by which to refute it. Even if I were to entertain the idea that the Werserians are being framed, how much longer would their house have lasted anyway, if it is so ill prepared for treachery?
He addresses Abelard with a slightly mocking tone.
My advice to House Werserian would be not to appeal to the rogue trader for help, but instead to simply stop, accept their fate, and not make matters worse for themselves. I cannot remember Rel von Valancia seeking your advice on what House Werserian should do in this situation. Pay attention, Macarius, focus on the rogue trader's questions.
Yeah, listen to Abelard. So, who apart from Werserians could have a motive to conspire against me?
House Drivestem, wishing to expand their clout. House Gaprak, who lost their influence after the Kiava Gamma incident.
Sauerback looks back at his family, then turns to you again.
House Sauerback, whose patriarch is too direct in his communication with the rogue trader. Anyone could have a reason to conspire against you, and equally, they could have none. It is not a question of motive, but of loyalty. Each of your subjects has sworn an oath of loyalty to you, so whose sincerity do you doubt?
Okay, let's look closely at Macarius, who succeeded.
Despite Sauerback's attempts to suppress his revulsion, the presence of inhumans in your retinue undoubtedly reflects his fervent desire to eliminate the enemies of humanity.
Yeah, do my companions distress you, Sauerback? I might fail this one. 38. Okay, let's try it.
Sauerback's face turns red, his furious gaze trained upon you. Free-flowing rage boils in every word he says.
The rogue trader is the chosen servant of the Emperor and one of humanity's best. By surrounding yourself with depraved Xenos who scorn the very exceptionalism of humankind, you teeter on the brink of heresy. And no privilege granted by the Emperor can blind others to that fact. The thought of existing in the same sector as Xenos is revolting, but their presence in your retinue, here, in the capital city of the von Valancius trade dynasty, enrages me. To have Xenos sullying the streets of this planet after what we endured, and under the protection of the rogue trader, no less.
Sauerback takes a deep breath and exhales noisily. His rage subsides, but his burning gaze remains fixed on you. With a pained and distressed expression, Regina glances at her husband, her hands worrying the ruffles on her dress.
Your unveiled hatred for me is so obvious, Sauerback. It is grounds enough to charge you with heresy. The assailants sent to the palace were rare, high-functional servitors. Do you think the Gapraks could be behind the attack?
Sauerback looks away briefly and replies to you with a curt laugh.
I have always thought Toriana too weak to participate in such risky ventures, but it seems I was wrong about her.
Yeah, so let's go with this. Your unveiled hatred for me is so obvious, Sauerback, it is grounds enough to charge you with heresy.
I am hearing this from you, the Emperor's servant who flouts all that is sacred? The person who seems to think the laws of the Imperium are meaningless?
Okay. Let's talk with Gaprak again.
Toriana Gaprak curtsies to you. Her mechanical voice sounds distant and indifferent.
Greetings, your lordship. May the
Okay.
My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach.
Ah, okay, we already had this. I thought he's gonna change something. So Sauerbacks, Gapraks. Stuck with the tech priests? No.
Reporting on current actions, data extraction from the memory repository of the servitor will take 3 standard Terran cycles. Data decoding will take 30 standard Terran cycles.
Okay, let's talk with the Werserians. Clemensia.
As you draw closer, the wardens step aside, bowing respectfully, allowing you to approach the Werserian family. Clemensia, tired and slightly disheveled, is the first to bow her head to you in deference. Several men and women behind her follow suit.
Your lordship.
The woman stammers, as if lost for words.
Accept my most humble apologies for failing to greet you properly, and my thanks for agreeing to speak to me before making your final decision. The charges brought by the governor are severe, but I can only assure you of this and swear on my own honor. We are not guilty of the crimes that House Werserian is being accused of.
Clemensia.
A hint of sorrow creeps into Abelard's voice, belying his stern facade.
You were acting head of this family. You were supposed to take care of each and every family member. And now you are being accused of treason and collusion against the rogue trader, and the entire family is facing death. How could you let this happen?
So are you truly guilty? Be honest. I will not tolerate lies. The governor claims you forged documents in the administratum. The attackers were high-functioning servitors, ones that look closer to ordinary humans. Do you know anything about them? Yeah, let's go.
Servitors? Is that so?
Clemensia crosses her arms and furrows her brow, deep in thought.
I have encountered servitors that were indistinguishable from normal augmented humans, but only once. They were accompanying several members of House Gaprak.
Again, House Gaprak. So are you truly guilty? Be honest. I will not tolerate lies.
Clemensia, if you know that a member of your family is guilty of the crimes you are being accused of.
Abelard, it is your family too, you know.
The woman's words burn with defiance.
My apologies, I should not lose my composure. No member of House Werserian is involved in a conspiracy against his lordship. Honor and loyalty are not something we take lightly, and we know whom we serve.
So the governor claims you forged documents in the administratum.
The fleet is the primary remit of House Werserian. It is our responsibility. Logistics and supply routes are another area of our responsibility. We have no direct influence on the inner workings of the Adeptus Administratum. The first large-scale deliveries were cancelled after quantities of food were miscalculated by clerks in the Administratum. Then we were faced with incorrect weather data and a meager fuel budget. It was clear that the cause of all these problems was the calculations performed in the Administratum, in one way or another, but no matter how many times we asked, we could not ever obtain any clarification on the matter.
So, if you are not guilty, who is? Who stands to gain from framing you?
Clemensia replies with a bitter laugh.
The other houses consider us unworthy of our position, and many would jump at the chance to get rid of us and gain control over what once was our domain, the planet's fleet and logistics at the very least.
Lady Theodora chose to grant noble status to House Werserian, but the other houses, which have served in the Expanse for millennia, did not welcome the decision. It has led to some difficulties.
Yeah, so pretty much everyone could be, okay, so I want to find out what is going on here and who the real mastermind behind all this is. Where should I start?
I am afraid I cannot be of much help. Talk to the representatives of other houses, eavesdrop on their retinue, and perhaps you will hear something unusual.
Okay. So it's not, okay, let's try to eavesdrop. Okay, warden. Yeah, let's talk again. Let's talk with Hedka.
The members of House Sauerback, led by Mechanicus, all bear a striking resemblance to one another, with their slender builds and stern looks. They bow to you almost in unison.
Okay. So it's not. Again, let's try to talk with Vincent. Yeah. The fact that they were those servitors.
The lords and ladies sumptuously dressed in the colors of House Gaprak are standing in a half-circle around Toriana and her son Vichent. The bodies and faces of almost...
Yeah, we already said...
Toriana
I already went over
My family,
this.
Lady Toriana.
So, where else? Ah, here is Cornelius. So, Clemensia. Yeah, okay, let's try to talk with Cornelius. Let's talk with the Drivestem.
Governor Drivestem is surrounded by his retinue, who are all dressed in expensive gowns and finery. The matching color scheme of their outfits and the striking physical resemblance among them suggest that they all come from one family.
Your Lordship. Thank you for giving this case your undivided attention.
The governor bows, and the rest hasten to follow suit.
I wish to hear your reasoning again. What makes you think the Werserians are behind the plot against me?
As soon as the logistical and economic problems gave rise to the initial rumors, we tried to find the person responsible for spreading the calls for Voigtvir's return. The investigation showed that some of the documents inside the Adeptus Administratum were forgeries. We can thank my son, Cornelius, for such astute observations. Your Lordship.
A slender young man bows to you awkwardly and nervously licks his dry lips.
I assure you that my humble person is undeserving of your attention.
Something is not right with this one. Okay.
Cornelius holds a prestigious position at the Administratum Palace, and it was he who discovered the errors leading to the disrupted logistics. It is also thanks to him that we found the perpetrators of the forgeries, who admitted to acting on the orders of House Werserian.
Yeah, I'm telling you, something does not feel right. Okay, all of the assailants were high-functioning servitors. Such servitors are only employed by families close to the Adeptus Mechanicus.
High-functioning servitors?
Drivestem ponders this, rubbing his chin with his thumb.
Such servitors are indeed rare, and the Gapraks do have them in their service, but this could have been done intentionally with an eye to confusing you. Anyone with the desire and sufficient funds can hire them.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Tell me more about your son, Drivestem.
Thank you for your interest, your lordship, but I am not worthy of it.
The governor's son bows and stands still as he nervously stares down at the floor.
Son, show due respect. Forgive him, your lordship. This is the first time he has had the honor of attracting the attention of the rogue trader.
Okay, how did you manage to find the forged documents in the bureaucratic hell that is the administratum?
When compiling reports on last cycle's supply chain, I noticed inaccuracies and discrepancies in the figures. With the help of the other clerks, I managed to find several other documents.
Cornelius stammers and swallows noisily.
Comprehensive data analysis has shown that the discrepancies were caused by intentional tampering with the data, thus leading to some logistical problems that were practically unsolvable. Father and I have managed to single out the administratum clerks responsible for tampering with the data. Following a heated interrogation, they confessed that they were following the orders of someone from House Werserian. Everything was supposed to look as though they were the ones suffering losses from the logistical and economic problems.
Yeah, but does House Werserian have access to the Adeptus Administratum? There is no conceivable way they could do all of this in a place where they do not hold any power.
Before replying, the governor's son nervously adjusts his expensive frock coat.
I think the right amount of money can open any door.
He is totally hiding something. Okay, tell me more about your job, Cornelius. What do you do?
I manage the documents and records related to the economy of Dargonus. You probably know how scrupulous the workers of the Adeptus Administratum are. I am afraid that a more detailed explanation of my duties would mirror the administrative processes of the Administratum, too long and overly detailed.
Cornelius tries to look you in the eye, but it is clearly hard for him to do.
That's what those who hide something do. Cornelius, what is the true reason for your nervousness?
The young man's pupils suddenly dilate. He stands at attention and replies to you in one breath.
This is the first time I have spoken face to face with the rogue trader. I am afraid of saying something wrong or forgetting something important.
Yeah, right.
The governor closely watches his son. His tone changes, now sounding strict and curt.
Do you wish to tell the Lord Captain anything else?
Yeah. So you are speaking to a rogue trader, and my patience is running out.
You see the flash of terror in Cornelius's eyes as he stares at your hand on your weapon. He speaks quietly and confusedly, without raising his head.
Forgive me, your lordship. I can't do it anymore.
I knew it.
This lie has gone too far, and I can no longer control it. The truth is that all of the logistical problems were caused by a single error in the numbers, my mistake. What?
Urbend looks genuinely shocked and enraged.
When I discovered my mistake, it was almost impossible to restore the supply lines. Then, I was approached by someone who said they were a friend. They did not give me their name, and I never saw their face. They promised to fix the problem. All I had to do was pretend that the Werserians were responsible for the mistake. And as for the rest of the evidence, they promised to arrange it all. And...
Cornelius is suffocating with fear, unable to speak. Urbend curls his hands into fists, the knuckles turning white.
What have you done? How could you, your lordship?
He suddenly turns to you, as if trying to shield his son.
This is my fault. I trusted my son and have failed you in doing so. I beg you, have mercy.
Abelard shakes his head.
And you called my family's honor into question, Urbend. Nevertheless, I harbor no desire to kick a man when he is down. Lord Captain, the confession you have obtained means that House Werserian can now be cleared of all charges. But we still do not know who was behind the forgeries, the riots, the plot, and the assassination attempt. Someone is committing their foul deeds and sowing chaos right under your subjects' noses. To leave that stone unturned would be dangerous.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, So, what is this friend that approached you, Cornelius? How did the two of you communicate?
By letter. I received a letter out of the blue one day. It wasn't signed, but the person writing already knew about my erroneous calculations. They offered to help me cover up my misdeed, and in return, I would name the Werserians as the ones who had sabotaged the supply lines. All I had to do was gather together some documents and reports that were listed in one of the letters, and keep my mouth shut.
Okay, so Urbend, your son has found the courage to admit his mistake. I will try and find some compassion for him in my heart. Cornelius Drivestem, I hereby sentence you to death immediately. Yeah, let's find some compassion.
Thank you, your lordship.
The governor bows low, then gives his son a look full of bitterness and frustration.
And as for your position, I think you will be reassigned to a role requiring less responsibility.
Summon everyone. I'm ready to pronounce my verdict. I shall return to you later. But I'm not ready for the verdict. I don't know who was the other one. Because Cornelius did not work alone. Okay, let's find out. So let's tell the other families what I just found.
The Werserian family greets you in subdued voices.
Okay, there is nothing here.
A new challenge for me?
The members of House Sauerback.
Okay.
The Lord.
My family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of it.
Okay, none of them. Yet. Sauerback. Edka. Well, I doubt Ulfa knows. Warden. I cannot give a verdict. I don't know who is. All I know is, yeah, they are not guilty. But who is guilty? Nobleman. Oh, nobleman.
None shall stand in my way.
Calm down, Abelard. Okay, we are not gonna... Though it might be good. Okay. Might be therapy would take a little bit. Okay. No. Holland.
All this fuss over the Werserians. They do not deserve so much attention.
Holland. What is a Gaprak doing here?
A finely dressed man of middle years is kneeling in front of the altar, his palms folded in prayer close to his face. The implant-free parts of his skin are a sickly blue color. The nobleman does not react to your presence. He does not lift his head. He does not blink. He does not even breathe. Only when you draw closer do you realize that he is dead.
What?
Abelard looks at the man, his eyes grim.
The colors of House Gaprak. I do not believe he decided to take his own life in such an extravagant way. As far as I know, there is a warden post here, but I do not see any wardens.
The seneschal looks around.
There is no one to ask about what happened here or with whom this man spoke before he died. I would like to ask Urbend where the palace guard suddenly disappeared to.
Cabela quickly examines the body.
This man was poisoned. A paralyzing toxin. The victim cannot scream, call for help, attract attention, or even breathe. A good tool for silent killing. I have made use of it in the past.
Okay, examine the body.
There are no visible wounds on the body, but near the edge of the gold-trimmed collar, you notice a tiny puncture in his blue skin. likely a wound caused by a thin needle.
Okay, search the pockets.
You discover a secret pocket in the lining of the dead man's luxurious jacket. You find a folded piece of paper inside, hiding behind a handkerchief embroidered with the initials HG.
HG, reach short note. Oh. Make sure the rogue trader is attacked by someone loyal. It should appear as if it was all staged to let the Werserian family escape. This is the last assignment. Soon your debt will be paid off in full. Okay, so he is the one who... Okay, look around.
You are almost certain that wardens are usually stationed nearby, but their post is empty. Where have they gone? This would be an excellent question to put to Governor Drivestem.
Okay, step away.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Okay, let's talk with Drivestem. Let's talk with Drivestem. Okay, look what I found.
When you approach them, the conversations die down. The governor bows his head in deference.
How may I serve you, your lordship?
Okay.
Are you ready?
No. Then Cornelius?
When you approach them,
No. Governor?
when you approach them,
No.
The Werserians have taken things too far. It is lucky that Lord Urbend managed to uncover their
Said
grubby
I
plot
should
so
talk
quickly.
with the Drivestem. Okay, let's talk with the others.
the Werserian family.
No. But I know for sure that the Gaprak were involved.
The lords and
Okay, I
My
discovered...
family, Lady Toriana, is yet to be found guilty of anything. That verdict is for the rogue trader to reach.
Yes, I discovered a dead body, a member of your house, right here in my palace. He died kneeling in a prayer.
Toriana covers her open mouth with her hand in surprise and, turning to her family, looks for someone among them.
Halen, it can't be.
Helen, was it? Tell me about him, Toriana.
Halen is one of the lower-ranking members of House Gaprak. Despite his advanced age, he never held high office, but he was forever striving to better his position, even beyond his abilities. Many members of my house struggled to cope with the misfortune that befell Kiava Gamma and our family. Some members could not reconcile themselves to our new position. Halen was one of them.
What could have happened to him?
Toriana's visor oculars are fixed on the floor, her fingers restlessly clenching in the fabric of her dress.
Toriana, the time to keep silent is long gone. The future of the von Valancius trade dynasty and your house are both at stake now.
We lost Kiava Gamma, a truly devastating blow to every member of House Gaprak. I lost all hope for the future, and my kin lost their sense of purpose. We needed time to recover and chart a new course for ourselves. We were and still are more than capable of doing that. But I will not deny it, the other houses have offered us their assistance, for their own self-serving ends. Perhaps Halen decided to take them up on one of their offers behind my back.
Okay.
The seneschal bows ever so slightly and speaks quietly so that only you can hear him.
Lord Captain, the Gapraks, all or perhaps only some of them, are definitely involved, but I suspect that they were not behind the plot against you. Halen Gaprak could be nothing more than a puppet in the hands of a deft puppet master. We must expose whoever that is if we are to prevent the pestilence of heresy from spreading any further.